Hey everyone, this is Alicia and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I created this peachy raspberry ombre eyeshadow look. So if you would like to see how I created it, just keep on watching. First, I'm going to start off by priming my lids using the Ulta Beauty Full Coverage Concealer in the shade Deep Cool. Once on my lids, I'm going to blend out my concealer using my Real Techniques concealer brush and then set it in place using my Coty Airspun translucent setting powder using my BH No. 3 brush from the Studded Elegance brush set. For this look, I'm going to use the Morphe 9J palette and use the shade Glance as my brow bone highlight. I'm using a random brush from the beauty supply store. It doesn't have a name or brand, but I like how small it is and it makes it super easy to place down my brow bone highlight shades. I then went in using my e.l.f. blending brush. I'm going to apply the shade Will They slightly below my brow bone, and this is going to act as my transition shade. Transition shades are important to place down because they help blend out the harsh edges of deeper shades that you place down. Your transition shade is either supposed to be your skin tone or the lightest shade in your whole look. Next, I'm going in with the shade Double Text and apply this above my crease but below my transition shade. I'm using a random blending brush from a brush set that I got from Marshall's. I'm using patting motions to apply and build up the shade before I actually blend it all out. This is such a gorgeous berry shade and it is easily blendable and it wasn't patchy at all. This shade built up so nicely. The shade is very pigmented, so a little definitely goes a long way. Taking the shades casually and make a move, I'm going to use an e.l.f. crease brush and place the shade directly into my crease using stamping motions. I then went into the Crayon Case Box of Crayons palette and placed the shade Deep Plum into my crease as well to deepen it up and to add some more dimension. I really like the shade that mixing the three shades created, and they all blended together beautifully. After I created the intensity that I wanted, I went in with my Morphe Fluffy Crease Brush from the Eyeshadow brush set, and I used this to blend out the shades in my crease. This brush allowed me to disperse the harshness of those shades. Just an FYI about this brush, it's really good and the set is inexpensive, but it is somewhat scratchy. So if you have sensitive lids, you may not like this brush. Now I'm just going back in with my blending brush and that raspberry colored shade Double Text to blend out any harsh edges that occurred after adding my crease shade and to also add back any intensity that was lost. Afterwards, I'm just going to add some more brow bone highlight and also go back in with my transition shade to make sure that all the harshness is gone, as well as making sure that the gradient that I created is more apparent. Now for the fun part. I'm going to take my ABH Eye Primer and a Wet n Wild flat concealer brush to carve out my lid. I make sure to look upwards so that the primer transfers slightly above my natural crease so that my crease color is still peeking out even when my eyes are open. Once my lid is coated in primer, I'm going to flip my brush over and make patting motions to take off any excess, as well as to slightly set it in place and create a tacky base. Doing this ensures that the eyeshadow that I place on my lid has something better to adhere to. Taking an e.l.f. eyeshadow brush, I am now going to pat the shade Will They onto half of the blank space that I just laid down on my lid. I'm using patting motions to build up the shade as well as making sure that the shadow sets my base. This is such a really pretty peachy matte shade, and it paired perfectly with the deep berry tones that I'm using. Now I'm just wiping off that same brush and I'm applying the shade Double Text right beside that peachy shade that I just placed down. I'm not too concerned with the harsh lines that I'm creating. I'm just focused on placing my shadows down to help set my base. Going back in with my e.l.f. crease brush, I'm applying the shades casually and make a move on the outer part of the lid to set the rest of the primer. I then make sure to go back in with Deep Plum and make sure to focus that on my outer V to deepen it up and to get rid of that line of demarcation that was created when I carved out my lid. As I'm doing this step, I'm making sure to slightly overlap that shade onto the previous two shades that I placed down. Doing this will get rid of the harshness of that shade as well as to make sure that I have a proper gradient. Now I'm just going back into my e.l.f. eyeshadow brush and alternating between that berry and that peach color shade and slightly overlap them onto each other to get rid of that harsh line. I'm going in with the Profusion Cosmetics Silver Glitter Liner that I got from a set, and I'm creating a thick outline in the crease of where I carved out my lid. At first I only created a small line, but it didn't really reflect off the light the way that I wanted, and I'm so happy that I decided to go against my initial idea because this liner really helped take this look to the next level. I'm coating my top lashes with the Loreal Double Extend Mascara, and I'm so sad that it's running out because it's my absolute favorite drugstore mascara. I'm going to have to wait for a long time before I can repurchase this because I'm currently on a low buy, and I want to utilize the products that I already have and not purchase anything that I don't already have a dozen of. I'm putting on the Rebel Access Enchanted Lashes, and I'm completely obsessed with these. Every pair of lashes that I own by them is straight fire. I do have a code with the company and is listed in the description box down below. If you want to save some money, understand that I don't make any money off of this code being used. It is merely just to save you some of your money. I just did the rest of my face off camera, and now I'm lining my waterline with the Essence Cocoa Bean Gel Eyeliner. I used a brown liner for this look instead of a black because I wanted to keep this look very soft, and I felt like a black liner would have added too much intensity. I'm using an e.l.f. smudge brush to smudge casually, make a move, and deep plumb to as close to my waterline as possible before going in with that Marshall's brush set blending brush with the shade Double Text to get rid of any harshness on my lower lash line. I'm using the shade Butterflies on my BH number 11 to apply to my inner corner as my highlight. I sprayed my brush with a little bit of Smashbox primer water to make that shimmer shade really pop. I'm now taking my e.l.f. blending brush with no added shadow and blend out the outer edges of my eyeshadow. This is a great trick to do when you need to soften up the perimeter of your eyeshadow without adding extra product. Now for the final step, I'm coating my lower lashes in mascara. And this completes the look. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also turn on your notifications. And I hope to see you all soon. Bye.